This is lesson number 17 in the series of the Orange Pi 5 Plus, and today I want to talk about backups. Sometime you're going to feel like you've got quite a bit of time and energy invested in using the system. You've done some important projects and you want to save them. I'll do an ls. You can see I have a number of directories here. If I want to find out how much disk space I've used, I'll do a disk usage, flag, summary, human format, and I want from my home directory and all the subdirectories how much space have I used. Shows 2.6 gigabytes. If you really want to know how much is being used by each subdirectory, you can do a disk usage again, summary, human format, do a splat for wildcard, and I want to do it for all the directories. And you'll see you get all the directories that are in blue are listed now on the right hand side in white. Some directories show a usage of only 4K. Well, that's the inode. If I do an ls on desktop, there's nothing in it. If I cd into it and do an ls, there's nothing in it. If I do an ls-a, there's nothing in it. By the way, if you do an ls-a, you're going to get a dot. That's a current directory, and there's a link to the upper directory. That's a dot dot. So cd back to my home, so I know what I want to use. Several ways to back up, and I'm going to show you photographs of those ways. Let me do my G thumb, splat. I want to look at all these images. One way is to use a solid state drive, and I have a brand new ADATA. Got it from ADATA direct from the warehouse in California off of eBay. So you have to be very careful. If you shop on eBay, you can look for ADATA drives. I would not recommend getting them from any other source than ADATA. I checked them a while ago. They're out of stock. So they're very popular. And they're reliable. In order to use the drive, I need a cable. And I use a USB to SATA cable. Bought this one off of eBay also. I got two of them for $8 with free shipping from an American distributor, and they had a very high rating. So you have to be very careful on these. Sometimes you'll get them and they do not work. Second backup storage is optical, the old trustworthy DVD. And I've been using DVDs for more than 20 years, and the oldest ones I have are still good. I bought these at Fry's when Fry's was in business in Phoenix. Got 100 of them for $20. That's 20 cents a piece. I checked. Best Buy does not have them. You have to go to Office Max or Office Depot, and I checked online, and I think they're 20 cents also. Still, in order to use them, you need a drive, and the Orange Pi obviously does not come with it's not large enough. It doesn't have a DVD reader writer. I use a USB one made by LG. And I believe I got this from Best Buy some time ago. Hard to tell, I don't remember. So we're going to use it. Option number 3 is a hard drive. This is a Western Digital. This one's a 2 terabyte drive. USB excuse me, USB cable on the left hand side, and I bought a 5 terabyte drive from Best Buy sometime in the last 7 months, and it failed on me. And I think I remember seeing a nasty YouTube video saying that someone didn't like Western Digital. There may be a reason for that. In order to use the drive, I'm going to have to format it. Now, the way to do that is a utility called disk, and the way to you need to install it, so you do a sudo update and then you do a sudo apt install, and the name of the package is gnome/disk/utility, and I've installed it. It's already my latest. To use it, you go over here to your applications and you pull down menu, go to accessories, and in accessories you'll see this little process, this package called disk. Bring it up and it shows you all the disk, and I've got a 1 terabyte disk. That's my NVMe 1 terabyte drive, and there's my root, and there's my boot partition, and here is my 240 gig hard drive. It's not formatted. It says size 240 gigabytes, contents unknown, device is SDA1. So what I need to do is I need to format it. So go here, format partition. I want to name the volume. This is on an Orange Pi, so let's do Orange Pi. Overwrites the existing data, but takes longer if you want to erase everything, but it's a new drive, so okay. Type, I want it to be an internal disk for use with Linux systems only. So it's an ext4. So I cannot take the drive with the cable and plug it into a Windows system and have Windows recognize it. Windows refuses to acknowledge Linux. Got it ready? Next. Warning, all data on the volume will be lost. There's nothing on there. So format. Creating a file system. See the little critter here, I think it'll move. It shouldn't take too long because I'm not spending a lot of time. If you look at, if I had a video camera showing you the cable, the little blue light is blinking rapidly, showing that there is data going to the disk. I'll tell you what, let me pause this so you don't have to watch paint dry. Okay, that took about 20 minutes, maybe a little more. So it's not a speedy process. So now you see that in this blue area here that it's labeled Orange Pi. Partition 1 is primary and is 240 gigabytes. It's in the ext4 file system. Device is SDA, and it is not mounted, shown here. So there's a little right arrow here. It says mount selected partition. So we will mount it, and it gets mounted at /media/Adams/Orange Pi, which is good. It's outside my part of the file system, so there's no overlap if I go and copy. I'll kill that off, doing df-h, and down here at the very last we see that /devs SDA1 is mounted at directory Orange Pi and /media/Adams. Available 208 gigabytes out of the 240 because of the overhead. Let me make sure I'm still recording here because I've had the thing fail on me one time. Now we're ready to go and back everything up. So I'm going to time this. Time, copy, -R for recursive, everything into /media Adams O-R-A-N-G Pi. That last / is optional. And off it goes. What? It took 2 seconds? Well, that's interesting. Do we trust it or not? Well, let's test it. We're going to use the diff command. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for I in all the directories do, and then I'm going to do a diff -r for recursive $I, that's the name of the directory, and I want to compare it with /media /Adams /ORANG Pi / same directory name there. Let me do an echo $I to show you that it's done each one, and then we do a done. There is the difference. The difference is that my little video recording was in use and it didn't copy. That's why there is, let's do a DU -SH 017. I've got a good keyboard and I still can't type. 25 megs. Is that reasonable? I guess it is, but for some reason, everything's okay. So everything's working. So I've got everything backed up on the disk. So let me unmount it. So I'll do, let's see if I can do this as user since it's my disk. Umount /dev SDA1. Oh, it's still writing. The stuff got buffered. The disk, since it's connected via 3.0, maybe it's still copying on the video. That's interesting. So I think it's still writing that thing. Let's do a screen recorder. I'm going to pause this and wait until it finishes. Okay, it's 6:43 p.m. Sorry, I didn't get the exact time. I went off to see when the Colorado football game starts. So you've got, let's look at, we've got 15 gigabytes of RAM, and it's possible to buffer, how much did we buffer? All of it? 2.6 gigs. And so buffered, copied everything from the NVMe drive to memory, and then write it through the USB port to the solid state drive, and that's a slow process. It takes some time. Now, if I do an DF -8, we'll see that the drive got unmounted. Sure did. Let's mount it. I've got a deal here. Let's see. Let me do a mount /dev /SDA1 to /home /Adams/disk. Must be super user sudo Now bang bang says repeat the last command, password, df-h, and voila. ls, and everything's there. Let me just do a ls everything, and we can see that there's a bunch of stuff in all the directories. So everything's okay, and I'm pretty sure that this MP4 file here, whoops, is going to be different. So there's one backup. So let me do a sudo umount /dev/sda1, and that will remove it. I can now power it off, and I can try my DVD drive. Now most of you are not going to have a DVD drive, so let's not waste your time. Let's just call this quits, and to do the hard drive, it's the same procedure. So from now on, when I do backups, I can just copy the directories that I need. Now, one of the things that I can do, which I can't show you, is I'm going to unplug the USB to SATA cable. Now I can take my hard drive, and I've got a coin envelope, which is, I don't have a ruler, but it's approximately, let me pause and get a ruler. I'll be right back. Okay, I got a ruler. The hard drive itself is 68 millimeters by 99, let's call it 100 millimeters. My little coin envelope is 80 millimeters by 136 millimeters. So if I open the envelope, the solid state drive fits in there nicely, slides in there, and I can fold the flap over. Then I can use a pencil or a felt tip or whatever and write on the envelope the date, the name of the drive, and what's on it. And then add comments if I add additional files. And I can go put this in my secret hiding place. If it's important enough, take it to the bank and put it in my safe deposit box. Let's see, I've eaten up almost 5 minutes in this section. I think, I don't know what the total time is, but I think that's enough to give you an idea on how to do the backups. One additional thing that I did not do is, let's say I go into Carnahan and Ritchie. Oh. And I've got the programming language book and the answer book. There's a utility called SHA-256-SUM, and if I do like the answer book, this gives me, is a directory. But it did the PDF file, and see, you get this long, ugly looking number here. And what happens is there's a cryptography, there's a checksum you run, and what I can do is I can do the following. I'll do a SHA-256-SUM on answer book _2 and output the results to answer book dot 256-SUM. Now if I cat the sum, that's the contents in that file. Now when I do a save, I'm going to save the PDF and I'm going to save this checksum. When for some reason, if I want to copy them to another system or whatever, I copy them back off the backup drive. The first thing I would do is I would run the 256 sum on answer PDF. Then I'll cat the saved sum. Whoa, I misspelled SHA. And I see that both of them are the same. Therefore, not a single bit has changed. If a single bit in either file is different, then the two sums will not match. So you're guaranteed that the two files are exactly the same if the checksums match. So you want to possibly do that for every file. Now the directory, you can't do it for a directory. Let's do it for images. Now what I want to do is I want to do the sum for each one of them. What I can do is I can say for I in star do and do the sum on $I and let me write the results to $I.sum. Done. So with each file is associated the SHA-256 sum value, and then when I save them, I'll write it, copy them back, and I can double check. Additional information for free. Thank you for your time. Hope you appreciate the knowledge gained and can use it to your benefit. Thank you, and I'll be back for number 18.